Welcome to our new Safety First series featuring discussions about Kent School District safety preparedness, protocols, and procedures. Each school day, our 42 schools are entrusted to provide a safe and healthy learning environment for more than 27,000 students. Today we're speaking with Superintendent Dr. Calvin Watts and our KSD Safety Services Manager, Tim Kovich, answering some of the most frequently asked questions about safety. Tim, let me begin with you. What is the number one question or topic that you get asked about?
One of the number one questions we receive are around safety protocols and lockdowns.
So what does a lockdown look like for students?
In Kent School District, a lockdown is when there's a situation or incident occurring right in our building right now. And so we want to put those kids behind a protective barrier. We close and lock our doors. We shut our blinds, turn the lights off. We move away from those windows, and we go ahead and silence our cell phones. The teachers at that time are doing student accountability to make sure that we can sweep and get all of the students behind those barriers. And then we communicate with law enforcement and first responders to address the incident. There's also a modified lockdown. Now the modified lockdown, that's for a situation that's occurring near the schools, but it's not directed at the building. So student learning is still going on in the classrooms. We just restrict outside access, locking of those exterior doors, possibly no recess or gym class outside, and then we move on the rest of the day.
Okay. Dr. Watts, how will parents and guardians know what's happening during an active drill, not a practice drill?
Yes, we want our families to know as soon as possible about a lockdown, certainly through phone messages, through email communications, and through letters. That's why it's so important for our families to make sure that contact information is up to date and current. And in real emergencies, it's also important to know that situations may change at a moment's notice, and it'll be fluid, so that information that comes to our families may come in the form of a letter at the end of the day. Our primary concern is our students' safety. We do know that, and the safety not only of our students, but of our staff in any of these situations.
Many students today have their own cell phone. What does the district advise in lockdown situations about students using their cell phones?
Yes, we encourage all students and staff to remain as quiet as possible and to not use their cell phones. We encourage our children to remain calm and also to follow all the directions of the staff and teachers in that situation.
Tim?
Yes, silencing the cell phone is very important. We do want to remain quiet during those situations. There may be a time where those phones are going to be used to give information to parents, but during that emergency, we need to hold off. We don't want parents rushing to the building. There's going to be information coming soon.
Okay. Dr. Watts, as a KSD parent yourself, I'm sure you can relate to parent concerns around drills and emergency preparedness. Can you talk a little about why in an actual emergency parents are advised to leave their children at school?
Yes, Kent School District does not intend to keep children away from parents and family members. In fact, it's our intent to make sure that children are always safe and inside their schools, particularly during a lockdown. So during a lockdown, no one is allowed in or out of the school building. However, if necessary, parents will be informed of a reunification center, and that's a location or a space and place where families can reunite with their children as needed.
Okay. Tim, do you and your team work with transportation if there are events before or after school, or if there's some kind of a large event going on?
Yes, transportation along with many other departments in the Kent School District. It's very important that we use those resources during these situations. We kind of call them tricky times, the start of the day and after school, the coming and going. So it is very active and fluid at that time, but if we work with all these departments and make these plans, we can keep everyone safe.
So what are the ways the district is working to prevent an active threat at one of our schools, Tim?
We're constantly training with our administration, our school staff and students. The lockdown drills are part of that training. We also work with our partners in law enforcement and other first responders, so they get to know our building, they know our plans and our procedures.
And Dr. Watts?
I would simply add that at the core of our safety measures certainly is building and sustaining relationships. We know that creating positive relationships between our students and our staff is important, not only to these situations, but certainly to creating a culture of mutual respect. It impacts our students' behavior and positively impacts our core business of teaching and learning and academic achievement.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Dr. Watts. This concludes today's episode of Safety First. Over the coming months, we will continue posting resources on the KSD website, answering questions about our safety services, and working together with students, families, and our community to help keep KSD safe. Thank you.